Welcome to the first episode of In the Studio with the Gemsmith. My name is Julie Lutke, and I'm so glad that you're here with me today. In this episode, I'm going to cover the making of earrings, and we're going to go through running this flat sheet of silver through the rolling mill, and then I'm going to be showing you how I form it using my Annealing and Synclastic forming stakes. So let's get started. We're going to start out first of all with this silver. I'm going to roll it through my rolling mill. I have a pattern that I'm using that I'm going to sandwich my metal in between that and some board. And I have this already pretty much ready for myself here. Beautiful. My pattern came out really nice, ready to become earrings. Now the next stage that I need to do is I have to anneal this metal, because now that it's gone through the rolling mill, the metal has become more hardened. And in order for it to be formed on these stakes, we have to anneal the metal to open up the molecules and allow it to be able to be formed. So we'll go ahead and anneal it. And with this, I usually take a marker and I put a mark on the back, set it on here, and once it hits the mark disappears, then it becomes, it has gotten hot enough to be annealed. So got a nice flame here. I'm just going to go over it until my black line disappears. And I'll know that my metal is completely softened enough to be formed. There we go. And from here it just goes into the water, and from the water goes into my pickle. Get all that off. It doesn't take very long, but let it sit a second. Rinse it again. And wipe it down. It's really important when you're working with steel that your metal is completely dry, because without it being dry, if there's any moisture on it whatsoever, your steel pieces, your rolling mill, your forming tools, any of this stuff will rust. So it's really important to make sure there's no moisture on stuff. So now we're going to saw. I have a pattern that I've cut out. I'm going to cut this in half, attach my pattern, and I'm actually going to super glue my two pieces of metal together once I have it cut in half. I'm going to have them back to back, super glue them together, and then attach my pattern to the front so that I can saw them out exactly the same. I've now cut my two pieces apart, and I'm going to planish them. This is a planishing hammer, and I want to get them as flat as I can get them without pushing too much pressure on them so that I can actually super glue them together. Now I'm going to super glue my two pieces together. The reason I do this is so that when I'm sawing the two pieces out to make earrings, the shape of the earrings will be identical. You'll notice anytime that you do any kind of sawing where you have multiples of something, like earrings where you have two dangles that you want to have be the same exact size or shape, it's best to do this little trick so that you can actually get them identical. So just kind of waiting for that glue to take hold. And then I'm going to start sawing out my pattern. As you can see, I have a pattern on here that is the shape that my earring is going to be. Okay, right now I've got it where I am just taking the paper off that I glued. Just wipe it down, and I'm going to quickly put some heat to this, and the two pieces will separate that I super glued together. My little trick. So doesn't take much. Doesn't take much heat to separate them. Just have to get warm. And I'm just going to burn off the glue and put it back in the pickle. Cool it off in my water bath first. And then back in the pickle to clean it up, and then we'll be ready to form them. It's really important to make sure that you always put them in the water after heating something up before it goes into the pickle. And the reason for that is the splash from the pickle is caustic, so you don't want to be getting that in your face. So now again, we have to make sure that everything is very, very dry. And I have two identical pieces from my little tip of the day to super glue your pieces together. And here we have it, two pieces, completely identical. Now we're going to go over here, make sure my hands are really, really super dry. And I have 5 different stakes here, actually 10 when you look at them, because each one is a little different. We have the concave and the convex, the anticlastic or the synclastic. And today I want to do, let's see, I think we're going to use this stake here. This one. Use this one. And I have a really nice Bonnie Doon hammer that has the polyurethane ends on it, and this end is permanent. This one will unscrew, and you can add. I have 2 other ends that can go on here. So the thing that's really nice about this is when you hammer on your piece, you have a little bounce, but it forms and leaves no marks, and it's awesome. So I'll get started on forming. Getting a nice round shape. I'm going to move it up here and get myself a little more curve. wanted to show you how pretty our earrings turned out. We'll have little tags on the side because those will be incorporated in my the ear wire, the post that will go through here. So keep an eye out on our website. We will have these up for sale. And for now, thank you so much for being with me today. Have a great Saturday afternoon.